new segment of the week and our final segment of the week.
Ooh,
Paul, I think we blast the song and then introduce it because this one is going to be special. Here we go. So for those of you uneducated fools out there, that is the fight song of the one, the only Brown Bears. I just realized
the Brown Bears.
Welcome everybody to the Ivy League Game of the Week. I mean,
This is probably the greatest football conference at any age level.
Any level.
This goes up pound for pound with any football conference at any level, I think. Through from junior college to Pop Warner to the NFL, the Pro Bowl even. I mean,
what more can
the Ivy League is such a great league. This week, there's a really exciting game going on. I think most people listening to this probably know about it because it is such a big game. It's circled on everybody's calendars, first week of the year. I mean, how could it not be? You want to lead us into this one?
Last season, they had a disappointing year. The Yale Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Coming off a highly disappointing 5-5 season after being polled number 1. They were highly disappointing last year. Go against the shocker of the league, the Dartmouth
Big Green. Go Big Green.
What a huge game in the Ivy League. Two undefeated,
massive game.
Undefeated powers going toe to toe.
Yeah, I think this game will really separate, unless Princeton wins, of course, who's another 3-0 team. But I think this game really separates. I think this game really separates the winner from the rest of the division. And if you're wanting to give away whatever they give away at the end of the year for the Ivy League, I mean, this game's so important.
Paul, the real question is, how do you honestly expect Kurt Rawlings and the Yale Bulldogs to go into the Hornets' nest known as Memorial Field, home of the Dartmouth Big Green, and get the big-time win for the Bulldogs? What can Rawlings and the Bulldogs do? How can they really go into the Hornets' nest of Memorial Field and get that win in Hanover, New Hampshire?
Yeah, I mean, Dartmouth's proven it time and time again this year with wins over Collegiate, as well as the Pennsylvania Quakers. Those are two big games, conference rivals that they really show that they can.
Don't disrespect Colgate.
Oh yeah, as well as the Jacksonville Dolphins. So they've played some big opponents this year. They've really proven themselves on the big stage. I don't know if this game is nationally televised or not. Doesn't really matter. Dartmouth's gonna win.
I'm going Yale all day.
You're going blue, hey?
Dartmouth has faced a horrendous schedule. I mean, their teams they're played against are combined 3-6. Meanwhile, Yale's got that huge conference win against Cornell. Also went into
1-2.
Also welcomed Holy Cross into the Yale Bowl.
I'll give it to Yale. They're first in the Ivy League. I mean, Yale's looking good. Yale has 98 points for, but Dartmouth has 101 points for. If you are in the Ivy League, you can do the math. That's an extra field goal. That's what this game's going to come down to. At the end of the day, Dartmouth comes out with a huge win over Yale by a field goal. I can't see it any other way. The Big Green are the team to watch this year. I think they could run away with the conference this year, win whatever they win in the Ivy League. Don't be surprised if you see
heading into
Dartmouth winning this week.
Heading to those FCS playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, this is so important. I mean, Dartmouth is one of the best teams in Ivy League that I've seen in a long time. I've been watching this conference for, I'm 21. I've been watching this conference for 20 years now. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. I mean, of course, I'll always be a big Harvard fan just because I've been there once. They're the only team that's in Boston that I will ever cheer for. And I cheer for them in spite of the New England Patriots being in Boston, just because. So go Harvard, go Crimson. I mean, this week we have a pretty good matchup. Looking like we're playing Cornell. What can I say about that game? That could have been the game of the week. We're looking good. Go Harvard. But Dartmouth over Yale. Who are you taking?
All I gotta say is, I mean, if you're Yale, we got to get the win this week because the Richmond Spiders are heading to the take on the Richmond Spiders next week, and so that's a big grudge match, as everyone knows. Virginia, big rivalry with Connecticut, where Yale calls home. So give me the Dogs on the road as road dogs over Dartmouth.
Wow.
Rivalry game, as every game is in this league. I mean, what more can you ask out of the league? Every rivalries everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if Dartmouth loses this game next week, they play the Marist Red Foxes. So hopefully they can come out with a win from that game. They play Harvard the week after, so that'll be a great game. Hopefully, we'll be getting into that game later on in the season, I'm sure. Ivy League football is the greatest football that there probably is in college football. So shout out to Yale, shout out to Dartmouth. Good luck, Dartmouth. We'd love to call your game, so if you need help, let us know.
But
ESPN if you're hiring.
For Paul Guado, I'm Will Baldwin. Thanks for listening in to the Ivy League Hour with which also had some other stuff. And I mean, Paul, do you had anything to say to everybody before we finish this thing off and head on into the week? Or
no, thanks for listening, and take Dartmouth. Bet on the Chargers, and I hope the Dolphins lose. Thank you.
Hey, Paul, do you want to hear the sound that's not going to happen at Memorial Field this week, home of the Big Green?
Definitely.
This is what's not going to happen this week because the Yale Bulldogs are going to go in and silence that crowd.